Hey, so we are back with a brand new movie on what if Naruto was Pervy God, father of DXD girls movie, but before we start, be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Now let's begin the story. Listen up, kid. We've got a year left for this training trip and… Training trip? You've spent the past 2 years perving on women in the hot springs, going to brothels and bars. Plus, you leave me in a hotel room for most of the day reading over your dumb books. Oh. Does the little brat want a taste of the wonders that is the female body? My books, which are glorious, aren't enough to satiate your adolescent mind. Your books are trash. Jiraiya gasped, you have no idea what you're talking about. You know why? Don't care. Naruto rolled his eyes and continued walking. Because you're uncultured. That's why. If you say so, pervy sage. Jiraiya growled, that's it. He grabbed his student by the collar and started walking back to where they came from. What gives? Naruto flailed his arms. We're going back to the nearest town and I'm throwing you inside a brothel. What? Why? For the wonders of the female body, why else? Jiraiya laughed boisterously. You pervy old man. I know the wonders of the female body. Oh? You do you? Yeah. But I'm not going around peeping on women and having sex whenever I feel like it. I have morals. Jiraiya rolled his eyes, kid, you're a virgin and therefore everything you're spouting is bullshit. You can't force me to have intercourse with a sex worker. Then I'll drug you into it. What? Naruto's eyes bulged out, that's way worse. Don't care. Clearly I've been teaching you wrong if you're this against it and I intend to correct that. You asked for this. Naruto reared his leg back and kicked at his unsuspecting godfather's groin from behind. Ooh, he collapsed, holding his family jewels. Naruto nodded to himself and walked nonchalantly into the forest. I'm gonna take a leak, be right back. You're gonna regret that, kid. Jiraiya sat up in pain. He took slow and deep breaths, think happy thoughts, happy thoughts. A few minutes passed and he finally got up. What's taking so long, brat? That's the longest piss anyone has ever taken, I reckon. He grumbled. I found a strange scroll. Naruto scratched his head as he came out of the forest. What's it say? Jiraiya limped towards him. I'm not sure, something about a portal, chakra, otherworld, it's very hard to understand. He handed the scroll to his teacher. Jiraiya hummed, who knows what it does, let's find out. He set down the scroll with a grin. Naruto looked at the man giggling uncomfortably. Alright, I assume if I just apply this amount of chakra. Naruto yawned as the minutes passed and Jiraiya continued fiddling with the scroll. What is it now? Naruto rolled his eyes. I want you to apply your chakra into this. Why? The scroll requires an insane amount of chakra, as I'm just finding out, Jiraiya groaned. If you say so. Naruto kneeled down next to him, if we die, I'm blaming you. Yeah, get to it. His godfather waved him off. A few minutes passed and the scroll began to glow. Aha. It's working. Both men stood up and looked at the scroll curiously as the glow died down. Well, that was a waste of chakra. Give it a second, kid. We can't be sure yet. What do you want to happen? For some portal to open from beneath our feet and swallow us whole. Jiraiya rolled his eyes, don't be so dramatic, kid. Of course that's not going to happen. And that's exactly what happened. I definitely wasn't expecting this. I told you we shouldn't have done anything with it. I get it, you're smart and I'm dumb. Want a lollipop? Naruto rolled his eyes, where even are we? An alley. I can see that. Then would you ask? Everything's pretty loud. Think there's some kind of parade going on? Don't know, stay behind me. Now you're paranoid. Let's go up to the roof, we'll get a better vantage point. For them to say they were shocked at what they saw was an understatement. Definitely not a parade. No shit, kid, no use having our jaws on the floor though, let's go get a bite. Put on a transformation. Jiraiya said as he made his way down the side of the building. Okay, Naruto followed after him, barely being able to take his eyes away from the street ahead of them. I saw a ramen stand, can we get some? I want to find a bar. I'm a minor. Don't whine, it's not like you're gonna be drinking. I want ramen though. Finny. Awesome. You're paying though. Naruto groaned, Finny. Okay, listen up, kid. Now that we got your stupid ramen. Hey. We should. Pervy sage. Naruto looked confused as his teacher started drooling. Do you see all these women, they're so hot. Oh boy, that scroll has blessed us. Jiraiya's head turned constantly as he giggled. The women are very… beautiful, but you just said that this might be a dangerous place, oh shouldn't. Kid, shut the hell up. Since when have you been a voice of reason? I may not be the smartest person in the world, but that doesn't make me dumb either, you dumb pervert. Hey. Don't call me dumb. That's very insulting. Jiraiya crossed his arms. Naruto glared at him. Jiraiya sighed in disappointment, Finny, we'll take a look to gather information before checking out the women. But don't do anything stupid. It's not like they'll be going anywhere. You'll have your chance to perv on them later. A few hours later. This is all your fault, kid. How's this my fault? I told you not to do anything stupid, and what's the first thing you do? Something stupid. How was I supposed to know we'd get captured when all I did was walk up a tree? Jiraiya scratched his chin. I actually wouldn't have expected that either, but considering these very fine ladies and lanky men came to apprehend us for being chakra-wielding humans, I can only assume it's your fault. Naruto's eyes twitched. They literally told us to let go of our transformations, so isn't it both of our faults? I guess. Jiraiya shrugged. Anyway, Naruto's voice lowered to a whisper, can't you do something to get us out of this mess? Jiraiya laughed boisterously, of course I can. Who do you think you're talking to? Then do something. Naruto hissed. Then give up this fine view. He gestured at a female vixen in front of them, you're crazy. Besides, I want to know where and who they're taking us to. We might be able to get some answers. What view? Her kimono covers everything. Anyway, do we have to go with them? You're a spy, you can just get the answers whenever you want. First of all, you can see a beautiful outline of her ass, and second of all, I can get answers whenever I want, but I don't believe we're in any kind of danger though, nor will we be in any. We're not here to cause trouble, so everything should be fine. Okay, I trust you, pervy sage. Of course you should. When have I ever lied to you? Naruto looked at him knowingly. Actually, yeah, don't answer that. You think they might tell us where they're taking us if I ask? I don't know, kid. Jiraiya shrugged, give it a shot. Naruto cleared his throat, would you mind telling us where you're taking us? We're escorting you to see Lady Isaka. One of them answered. Ooh, oh lady. You think she's hot? Jiraiya asked Naruto. Naruto rolled his eyes, I don't know. It's a rhetorical question, brat. She probably is. Jiraiya giggled. What did I tell you? Jiraiya tried not to droll. Yes, I have eyes, pervy sage. Naruto looked away with a blush. I appreciate you allowing yourselves to be escorted without making a fuss. I am Isaka, leader of the yokai here in Kyoto. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lady Isaka. Jiraiya bowed slightly as to continue ogling at her chest. Isaka nodded, who might you two be? And what is your business here? Jiraiya smirked as he stood up, glad you asked. I am the man who has no enemies in the… Be quiet. I'm not listening to your stupid introduction a second time in my lifetime. Naruto interrupted. Why not? What's wrong with it? It's horrible. It makes me want to tear off my ears. Stupid brat. You simply have no taste. You're jealous that you don't have an introduction like I do. I'd rather not have one at all if it was anything like that. As amusing as this is, Isaka interrupted with a small laugh, I must ask you again, who are you and what are you doing here? Naruto sighed, I'm really sorry about the pervert. You can just ignore him. You little shit, Jiraiya grinded his teeth. I'm Naruto Uzumaki and this is my godfather Jiraiya. I'm surprised you introduced me as your godfather, you almost never do that. It's embarrassing since you're a pervy old geezer. It's a pleasure to meet you then, Naruto and Jiraiya. She smiled softly. Alright, Naruto gulped. The pleasure is all ours. Jiraiya giggled. When exactly did you arrive? I have to say that it felt as if you appeared out of thin air, and I will admit that I was a bit concerned you had bad intentions. The only thing you have to be worried about with pervy sage is that he'll peek on you during moments you're most exposed. Come on, Naruto, stop making me look so bad. Jiraiya frowned before turning over to Isaka, we apologize if we caused any sort of panic. We're sort of just passing through the area. I'm glad then, I will admit I was still a bit nervous when you arrived, especially concerning you, Naruto, or rather your second chakra. Isaka gazed at Naruto's abdomen. Naruto stiffened slightly, meanwhile Jiraiya laughed. The brat. Hahaha. He's harmless, he wouldn't hurt a fly, I'd say. Isaka hummed, that's good to know, but seeing as how you deflected my observation, perhaps I do have a valid reason to worry. I would appreciate it if you were honest with me. Naruto looked at Jiraiya, who merely shrugged. All you need to know is that as long as I'm around, then there's no reason to worry about his second chakra. I'm sorry for being so serious, I'm sure you can understand. No need to apologize, Lady Isaka. We're glad that we could have such a civil conversation with you. Isaka nodded, I assume you have no place to stay. Jiraiya laughed, we also have no money. You may stay as guests for as long as you need. In return, I ask that you answer a few of my questions. Of course. We thank you. Naruto leaned closer to his teacher to whisper, you're okay with this? Is it safe to answer her questions? I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. Naruto narrowed his eyes, you're just agreeing cause of her chest, aren't you? Duh. Just look at those bazongas. You can't tell me you wouldn't motorboat them if you were given the chance. Naruto looked at the smiling yokai, yeah. But boy. You're getting closer to becoming a man of culture like me. Naruto scoffed, you're more of a degenerate. Possibly you have my notes, right? I'm getting inspiration and I think we both know the perfect way to earn money on this world. Oh gosh, I have to read over more of your shit. You bet. I've been thinking, Jiraiya started. How surprising. You don't do that a lot, Naruto snickered as he proofread his teacher's draft. It wasn't surprising that his first book in this world was such a hit which made him start on a second as soon as possible. You could have been a bit less obvious that you based the main girl on Isaka. Jiraiya shrugged, anyway, we should totally go traveling. Why? We've been here for a few months and everything's been great. You've been training me and you also have a lot of research material. Jiraiya sighed, so naive. There's only so much I can do with Yakai as sole inspiration. Which is why I want to go meet other beings. Oh yeah? Like what? Naruto humored his godfather. Devils and angels. Maybe even a mermaid too. I wouldn't mind meeting an angel, Naruto hummed. See? I'm a genius. And I'm sure Isaka would love the fact that you wouldn't be around to perv on her. It surprises me how you're still able to get the women here to sleep with you, considering they all know your nature. That's just thanks to my natural charms, kid. You wouldn't understand. Jiraiya chuckled. I just don't go sleeping around like you do. I could totally do that if I wanted and you know that. Jiraiya frowned, TSK. You and your stupid rugged looks and cute whiskers. I got a smooth talk a woman around here, but one look at you and they want to jump you. Naruto scratched his cheek sheepishly. You should totally try and get with Isaka as your first before we leave, since you already spend so much time with her. Give me information once you're done. What? No way. You won't sleep with her? Jiraiya began to tear up. I mean I would, but there's no way she'd do it with a 16-year-old. And even if I did I wouldn't tell you shit. Jiraiya crossed his arms, dick. Just for that we're leaving right now, pack your stuff. We're off on an adventure. Are we not gonna say goodbye? Naruto asked as he picked up the papers. Of course not. That's the fun of it. That sounds pretty shitty, Naruto frowned. I agree. Jiraiya turned around excitedly, trying to catch a sneak peek of my next work, Lady Isaka. I know you read my first published book. I've seen you try to hide it. Isaka blushed, haha, I hadn't expected you to be such a good writer, Jiraiya. I would hope I am, considering I've been writing for years. He laughed boisterously. His first book wasn't such a hit, he only really got popular once he switched to porn. It's not porn. Isaka smiled in amusement, where will you be traveling to? Ah yes, well I was thinking about going to Kuo or Italy, considering I want to see a devil and angel over any other supernatural being at the moment. It might be easier going to Kuo, but I'm really curious as to what another country is like. Naruto rolled his eyes, and by that he means what European women feel like downstairs. That too. Jiraiya giggled. Isaka laughed, it's so amusing seeing you two interact. Especially you, Naruto. Oh? Yes, it's very fun seeing you struggle to reject the beautiful women throwing themselves at you. Naruto blushed. The waste, I say. If women did that with me then you can count I wouldn't miss a beat. I'd have a harem. Jiraiya frowned. I'm sure you would, pervy sage. Maybe I should become a devil, just to get myself one. Jiraiya hummed in thought. It's a shame to see you two leave so soon, and I hope you return soon. Who knows, once you come back, we could have some private time. Isaka eyed Naruto. Jiraiya giggled perversely as Naruto blushed, lucky little bastard. Ah well, if you'd like, I wouldn't be opposed to it, Naruto coughed. Isaka giggled in amusement. Okay brat. Go finish packing up before you get a stiffy. You're not gonna help me? Hell no. You're a big boy. Besides, I'm gonna be saying farewell to all the wonderful ladies if you catch my drift. Naruto cringed, remember to use protection. Ha. I don't need you telling me that. Take as long as you need, I know I will. Jiraiya skipped away, laughing like a madman. You know, when you said we'd be visiting the Vatican, the first didn't exactly think we'd be breaking in. Well, what else would we be doing? Oh, I don't know, walking in like normal people. DSHHH, normal people, there's no way I'd be able to do my research like that. No, we need to not be seen for me to actually get the good shit. Naruto frowned, seriously. Why was this the first thing we did? I'm gonna go on ahead, you go around too and find some girls your age. Jiraiya ignored his question. Why? Because I'm gonna go look for the MILFs. Wouldn't it be NILFs? It's not as catchy, kid. Whatever, anyway, let's say I wanted to talk to someone. Why would you want to do that? We're here to perv on, sorry, acquire research on the church gals and maybe see some angels if we're lucky. I don't know, maybe I see someone interesting and I want to get to know them. Jiraiya rolled his eyes, Ian, put this behind your neck and you should be able to speak to the locals. He handed him a piece of paper with kanji on it. How's it work? Naruto asked as he placed it on his neck. Jiraiya sputtered, I don't have the time to tell you that. Just go get me some research. You owe me an extra long training session after this. Maybe even teach me Senjutsu now. You better not be talking about the crap that yokai use in this world. Obviously not. Naruto rolled his eyes. Jiraiya hummed in thought, if you find me something good, then I'll do it. But it has to be really good. Jiraiya reached into his short shirt kimono, take this camera for good measure. Where'd you get this? I snagged it from a tourist. Enough questions kid, get to work. You still haven't told me how we're getting into the Vatican. Ha. Figure it out. If you can't do that then just figure out another way to find some research, but it has to be something related with church women. Later. Stupid old man. Naruto grumbled in annoyance as he looked at his surroundings, I don't really want to do this, but if it's for my training. He shrugged his shoulders and walked around with no real destination. To see where the wind took him, or something like that. He deadpanned when he noticed all the women he passed by wore robes, what else was I expecting? Of course this wouldn't be easy. He was about to give up until he caught a glimpse of the outfits the exorcists wore, ho, Pervy Sage is gonna love this. I can't wait to take a nice bath. One of the girls sighed. The shorter-haired girl nodded in agreement, it's always nice after a long mission. A really pretty Naruto thought absent-mindedly as he discreetly tailed them, I feel gross following them like this I hate you, Pervy Sage. I sure hope they don't end up going into the church itself that would be more troublesome. To his relief that wasn't the case. They ended up entering what seemed to be a shower room exclusively for female exorcists. He observed his surroundings and was concerned that there wasn't anybody around. He somewhat hoped that Jiraiya got caught and was currently being beat up. That should be enough time for them to get into the showers. He looked up and noticed some windows and a tree next to them, how convenient. He walked up the tree nonchalantly and sat down, let's see what we're working with here, he hummed as he used the camera to zoom into the shower. He took a few seconds to really appreciate their bodies before taking the pictures, those robes don't do them justice. They sure don't, Jiraiya giggled next to him. What the hell? Naruto screamed quietly, when did you get here? Why are you here? Well you see, I had snuck into the women's changing rooms like the legend that I am, and I found a nice looking lady. Jiraiya made groping motions. Oh yeah? Did you get anything? Ah no. Why not? Well, for whatever reason I sneezed before I could take a picture. It was pretty loud and I had to run. Jiraiya scratched his cheek in embarrassment, but I did memorize all her curves. Of course you did. Naruto rolled his eyes as he went back to taking pictures of the two young exorcists. Jiraiya took a quick peek at his godson's work, oh you found some nice ones. I approve. Keep quiet, I'm trying to concentrate. I don't blame you. Jiraiya grinned. Do you really have to act like that towards girls that are probably my age? Listen kid, as long as they've got curves it doesn't matter how old they are. Naruto looked at his godfather in disappointment, I can't believe you just said that. Once I fully educate you then you'll understand. Zenobia. Irina. Get out of the shower now. Sister Griselda. What's wrong? There's a pervert around here and we haven't caught him. Naruto turned to Jiraiya again, you didn't say they were still chasing you. I thought I shook them off with a shadow clone. Hello, who might you two be? A voice from behind the masked. Naruto and Jiraiya turned around slowly. What they saw was probably the most beautiful woman they had ever laid their eyes upon. Are you seeing this, kid? An angel. Naruto nodded. No, you idiot. Jiraiya smacked the boy, I'm talking about those melons. Melons? The angel tilted her head cutely. Ah. Jiraiya's nose leaked blood as he saw that, quick. Take a picture before she takes me out. Take you out? Oh no, please don't think that. I just want to talk. She's an airhead. Quick, Naruto. We gotta flee. This isn't a battle we can win. Naruto rolled his eyes, she's super beautiful, but you don't have to be so dramatic. There you are. Griselda shouted from below them, flanked by the now dressed Zenobia and Irina. Lady Gabriel, let us take care of these two. Zenobia requested. I don't think there's any need. You won't run, right? Gabriel asked them. Jiraiya hummed in thought, stay and talk with a giant-breasted angel, and possibly be arrested for breaking into the Vatican or leave the country with what we've already collected. Naruto yawned as he noticed it would take Jiraiya a while to come up with a decision, so he decided to introduce himself. He hopped down from the tree, Naruto Uzumaki, a pleasure to meet you. Griselda Quarta wish I could say the same, but it really isn't. Naruto nodded, yeah this is just the way he is unfortunately, I just get dragged into his perversions. Is that so? Griselda raised an eyebrow. I usually just do it in return for extra training sessions nowadays. Griselda looked him up and noticed that while he was speaking with him nonchalantly his guard was also up. Alright, kid. We're free to go. Jiraiya said as he hopped down the tree as well. What? Zenobia and Irina looked shocked. Their boss just let us go. She only asked that we come back in a few days. When Michael gets here. I want him to meet Naruto, Gabriel explained as she made her way down next to the exorcists. Why not keep them here until Lord Michael gets here instead? This way we can keep an eye on them. Griselda suggested. No, that won't be necessary. They want to explore the city some more and I don't really want them to think they're prisoners. Gabriel nodded, indicating that they could leave. Jiraiya nodded back and Naruto smiled at Irina and Zenobia, can't wait to meet you again. What a happy smile, genuine and fake. Griselda noted. It was strange. Griselda turned to Gabriel, pardon. I mistook the boy for an angel. The three exorcists made sounds of confusion. Only Griselda made her thoughts known, his soul was that pure. Gabriel nodded, strangely enough he also felt like a demon. I've never encountered someone with such a pure soul and so much hate at the same time. Both his and at the same time someone else's. Zenobia and Irina looked at each other in confusion. While Griselda looked at the retreating pair with renowned interest, what makes you think they'll actually be back? Gabriel giggled, didn't you hear? He wants to meet Zenobia and Irina again. He doesn't strike me as someone who would lie. Okay, I think it's time we book it to another country. I don't think they'll bother chasing us once we get out of Italy. Jiraiya muttered to himself. What? No, you promised Gabriel that we would come back to meet with her brother. And? I don't really want to get arrested afterwards. Naruto sighed, I hate to use this card but think about Gabriel's massive melons. Jiraiya sighed, they really are massive aren't they? Naruto nodded enthusiastically, and she's an airhead. A great combo. Jiraiya nodded in agreement, very true she could turn out to be great inspiration for a future book. Naruto smiled, knowing that he had convinced his godfather. Ah. Fine, we'll go meet the angels. Jiraiya rolled his eyes. Good, we have a few days before we meet with them so we could use this time to train. Or, I got a better idea, you can hang out with some exorcists or nuns while I go to a brothel or something. Naruto stared at Jiraiya. And then we can start your sage training. We better. Naruto eyed him suspiciously as he made his way to the Vatican. Have fun. Try to get some research done if you can. Jiraiya waved him off. Stupid pervert, Naruto mumbled to himself, kicking rocks along the way. Where's the pervert? Naruto looked up to see Griselda in front of him, hello again, he's left me alone to find a brothel. What are you doing here then? Lady Gabriel already told you that Lord Michael won't be here for a few days. Well, she didn't say anything about not being allowed to visit in the meanwhile. Naruto shrugged, I just came here to properly meet Zenobia and Irina. Is that so? Griselda raised an eyebrow in suspicion. Naruto nodded, maybe a quick spar with them if they'd like. Listed kid, nothing against you, but I will not be allowing you near the Vatican before Lady Gabriel and Lord Michael are both here. Why not? Lady Gabriel may have said you have a pure soul, but I'm more concerned about the other thing she felt. Oh, so she can tell. Naruto nodded in disappointment, that's a good reason. I suppose I would like to say that I can't make it to come out. PSK, even more reason to not allow you anywhere near the church. I meant that it only happens when I can't control my anger, Naruto said in exasperation. I don't care how it comes out or whether you can control it or not. Griselda narrowed her eyes, I will not be taking any chances. Naruto held his hands up in surrender, okay, I get it, I won't come back until Michael gets here then. Have a good day. Later in the day. How'd it go, kid? Jiraiya asked as soon as Naruto entered their apartment. Naruto blinked, how many women did you bring over? I got 2 in my bedroom and 1 in the shower. Wow, how much did you pay them? You little shit, Jiraiya grumbled with a smile. What a cutie. This is your godson then? One of the prostitutes asked Jiraiya. I'm surprised you even told them of my existence, pervy sage. Naruto eyed the naked woman as she entered the living room. Like what you see. The woman grinned, pressing her breasts together. They're nice, but nothing about you really catches my eye. Naruto shrugged. Oh really? How about getting a ride with me then? Free of charge. She crossed her arms challengingly. Naruto cringed, I don't particularly want sloppy seconds. That's too bad, I'll be waiting in bed, Jiraiya. Naruto waited until the woman closed the door before sighing, that was pretty nerve-wracking. I hate to think that you'll somehow stay a virgin forever. I'll make sure it doesn't happen though, no matter how hard you try to not get some. Right, try not to be too loud, pervy sage. You didn't tell me how it went. Oh, that Griselda lady said she wouldn't let me get close. She would have probably fought me if I insisted, so I just left. Naruto shrugged, no harm waiting I guess. Yep. Can't wait to see Gabriel's bazongas. Haha. And I'm going to bed now. Hello. Gabriel smiled at them warmly. Jiraiya giggled and Naruto smiled. Brother, this is Jiraiya and his godson, Naruto. Hello, it's a pleasure to meet the two of you. Michael greeted them with a smile similar to his sister's. Geez, angels are pretty bright. Naruto squinted his eyes slightly. It's a pleasure to meet you. Jiraiya bowed respectfully, Naruto doing the same seconds after. Let's go talk more privately then. Michael led them to a building separated from the church. I hope you don't mind that Griselda, Zenobia and Irina are here. Not at all. Jiraiya said from behind everyone as he took notes on the exorcist's jettab. We're happy to meet new people, although for different reasons. We're planning to meet a few individuals from as many races as possible. The rest of the walk was rather silent until they all sat down comfortably, save for the 3 exorcists who stood guard outside. So we hoped you would give us the chance to get to know Naruto more. Michael started. What for? Jiraiya asked. Michael hesitated. We're looking into human and angel reproduction. While angels are able to sexually reproduce, the process is rather long, since we have to take many measures to ensure neither angel falls from grace when love is not a factor. Jiraiya nodded along intently. And since we're also looking into using a similar system to what devils use, we're also interested in how that would work once we get it up and running. Jiraiya blinked. So, you're saying? We believe that Naruto will be a good candidate for this. His pure soul would be what angels focus on, and thus greatly reduce the chances of them feeling lust over him. That's what we hope for at least. This could make for a great book, Jiraiya thought. What do you think about this? Michael asked Naruto. Well, it's a lot. I don't know how to feel about it. I would definitely do it. Jiraiya said. You have a good soul indeed, Jiraiya. Michael nodded, but that would probably not be a good idea, even with precautions. Anyway, Naruto spoke up again, I'm still a virgin, and I don't really know what I feel about possibly having sex with someone I don't know, even if they are an angel. Oh. It's not like we want you to do it right away. That's why we want to get to know you more first, as well as possible angel candidates in the future. Naruto nodded. Well, I guess I can think about it since I have the time. Michael smiled. That's all we ask. Well. Jiraiya stood up. If that's everything, we'll be taking our leave. He handed Michael and Gabriel each a scroll. If for whatever reason you need to contact either of us, just open up the scroll and tell it to the Toad. Toad? Gabriel mumbled in confusion. Michael nodded in acknowledgement. One last thing actually. We arranged for 3 exorcists to accompany you on your travels if you don't mind. Naruto looked at Jiraiya, who gave him 2 thumbs up in excitement. Alright, are they here? You've already met 2 of them and you'll be meeting the 3rd one later today. Irina Shidu, Zenobia Korda and Lint Selzen. Kid. Change of plans. We're stealing some shit from Azazel. Jiraiya barged into Naruto's room. Right now? The sun isn't even out yet. Naruto groaned. Who cares about the sun? I've just found out that Azazel is an inventor. I thought he was a pervert. That too. So we're gonna go and borrow some of his stuff for research. Jiraiya giggled. Why can we never have a normal day? Naruto groaned. What exactly are we borrowing anyway? A gender swap ray gun and doppelganger machine. Why not just make shadow clones? You fool. Shadow clones are fragile, useless pieces of shit for what I have planned. And then there's also the gender swap gun. It's the key to a completely new understanding of sex. Naruto cringed. So you're gonna have sex with a dude? Hell no. I'm gonna have sex with another woman as a woman. I'll finally be able to write that in my books. Oh, it'll be amazing. Don't worry kid, you can give it a shot when you find yourself a few girls. I didn't. Anyway. Let's get going. Time's a-wasting. Shouldn't we leave a note or something? That's lame. Just leave a shadow clone to tell them why we're leaving. I didn't think he'd just have his stuff in a closet. For such a smart guy, that's pretty dumb. Hey, I thought I told you to keep watch on the door. Jiraiya grumbled. Ah. Whatever. It's way too early for anyone to be up and about here. Would you look at that? He's a fan of my Icha series. Wow, he even got the first book for all the series. What a surprise. Naruto rolled his eyes as he walked back to the door. I guess I could sign his stuff for the trouble this might cause him. How considerate. Naruto said sarcastically. Gosh, lose the attitude kid. We'll be starting training soon. We better or I'll either go back to Italy or Kyoto. Okay, just finishing these last few signatures and done. There's a school nearby, Kuo Academy, with most of the students being female, so I want you. You want me to go do some research? Exactly. Try and get something from the devils too, will ya? Yes sir. Naruto gave a mock salute before walking away. You didn't even ask where the school is. Jiraiya called after him. I'll find it myself, it shouldn't be too hard. Jiraiya shrugged before looking at the devices. How do I use these things anyway? You'd think there'd be some manual or something. Later that day. I guess I should get to finding the school now. Naruto walked around lazily as he slurped on some ramen. His attention was caught by a petite white-haired girl staring at him. Naruto blinked. Can I help you? He looked her up and down, taking notice of all her features and what she was wearing. The girl didn't say anything, instead she continued staring at him before pulling out a bag of cookies. Naruto decided to study her some more, pulling out another cup of ramen himself. The devil with chakra. Other people might be weirded out being stared at like this, you know. And you're not? She asked. If you were a dude I would be. But seeing as you're a pretty girl, I think I'll let it slide. She didn't say anything, but he could see the small blush adorning her cheeks. Naruto took out a third cup of ramen, waiting with interest to see where this interaction would lead. "You always eat that much ramen?" she asked. "What can I say? It's the food of the gods." He shrugged, "You're one to talk, considering you just pulled out a second bag of cookies." She shrugged as well before approaching him. Naruto eyed her as she stopped right before him and handed him a pamphlet. "Later," she said unemotionally before walking off. Naruto looked at the girls behind, "Nice ass." He looked down at the pamphlet with curiosity. I'll make sure to try this later. Better make sure Pervy Sage doesn't get his hands on this." He mumbled to himself before pocketing the pamphlet, forgot to ask where Kuo Academy is. He looked around again before finding a young man with a uniform. "Hey you." Naruto grabbed the guy's shoulder. The young man turned around before quickly lifting his arms to protect his face. "Don't hurt me. I don't have any money." "Eh? I just want to know where Kuo Academy is." "Oh why? None of your business. You go there." "I do," the boy gulped. "Great. You can take me there then." "Okay, you're not gonna kill me, are you?" "Wahaha. You're funny." Naruto wrapped his arm around the young man, "Lead the way." "Alright. What's your name?" "Issei," he squeaked. "Cool, I'm Naruto. Are you gonna be attending Kuo?" Issei asked. Dunno, depends I guess. School's never really been for me." Issei sighed in relief. "Why so relieved about it?" Naruto asked in amusement. "Don't take this the wrong way, but the school definitely doesn't need another blonde pretty boy, especially one as intimidating as you." "Wahahaha. A pretty boy. Oh man, I've never heard anyone my age actually call me that. It was usually older women trying to get into my pants back in Kyoto." "Milfs. You're not a virgin." Issei looked at Naruto with admiration and jealousy. "Oh, I'm still a virgin, and when I say older women I mean women in their early and late 20s. At least you have women chasing after you. They don't even pay me any attention except for when they're beating me up after catching me peeping on them." "A hopeless pervert. Don't fret, my godfather is the biggest pervert I have ever met and he still gets women to sleep with him. So there's a chance." "Don't know about that, I'm still not sure how he does it." Issei looked down dejectedly. Naruto hummed as he noticed the girl he met earlier walking ahead of them. "You know who that is?" Issei looked up. "That's Kaneko. She's a first year in the Occult Research Club, very popular too." The Occult Research Club. Naruto suppressed a laugh. "Oh yeah, very hard to get into. It's very selective of its members and it only has 4 members, including her." "Interesting. I wonder what the requirements are." Issei shrugged. "No one knows. You can't exactly apply after all. The only way to get in is to be personally invited by its president. It's surprisingly just as strict as the student council when it comes to new members." "Good to know." Naruto smiled as they arrived at the school. "Where is the girls' changing room?" "Oh, it's over there." Issei trailed off as he pointed Naruto to its direction. "Thanks, I'm off to do my research. I'll see you later, maybe." A few hours later. "What are you doing, Riaz?" "Watching the sky." "Oh? Anyone I know?" "Not likely, I've never seen him before. I've been checking to see if he'll leave anytime soon whenever I have a chance, but he's still there." "What's he doing?" "Peeping on girls." "How original." Akeno looked out the window. "He's cute though." Riaz hummed. "He hasn't moved at all from that tree. He even avoided getting beat up by the kendo club when they caught the perverted trio. He was laughing a lot." "What an achievement. They always pummel anyone who spies on them." "Yes, not sure what he said to them, but they left him completely alone afterwards." "You think he's gonna attend the school?" "I haven't heard anything about a new student." They continued watching him take down notes when a toad suddenly hopped up beside him. He looked at it with a bored expression before hopping down the tree along with it. "Is he following that toad?" Akeno asked in amusement. "He is. What a strange guy." "What's up, Pervy Sage?" "Ah, there you are. I need you to test these 2 gadgets for me." "Right, do you even know how to use them?" "I think I've figured it out, which is why I'll be testing them on you." "Okay, what do you need?" "Just give me a strand of your hair and I'll do the rest." "Sure." Naruto did as instructed and watched his godfather tinker with a machine. "And here we go, stand back a bit just in case." Jiraiya giggled as he set the machine on the floor. They watched in awe as an exact replica of Naruto was made. It worked. It actually worked. "I didn't think you could pull it off, Pervy Sage." Naruto looked at his replica in awe. And now for the second part. The second part? Both Narutos looked confused. I'm gonna use the gender-bending gun on you. Jiraiya told the replica. What? I thought you were gonna use it on him. The replica pointed at the original. Oh, I'll use it on him when he least expects it, but I wanna see if changing your gender will affect you in different ways if you catch my meaning. But. No use arguing about it. I've already decided. Jiraiya instantly blasted the replica with a gun and watched with glee as he began changing into a woman. Fuck, the replica groaned. It worked as well. Truly amazing. Why do I look so attractive as a woman? Naruto muttered to himself. I have boobs. And a bigger ass. The replica felt up her crotch. My dick. It's gone. Well duh. You, my goddaughter, are a woman now. I gotta say, you have some nice ones. You, pervy sage. It was weird when we first met and saying it now doesn't make it better. Naruto cringed and the replica nodded in agreement. Whatever, what should we call you? Jiraiya hummed, how about Naruko? Wow, that's the best you came up with. Both Narutos rolled their eyes. I don't hear any bright ideas coming from either of you. Fine, Naruko it is. The replica shrugged. Great. Now, I want you to look at these two pictures and tell me which one turns you on. Jiraiya pulled out a picture of a naked man and woman. Gross, I don't want to see a dude's dick. Naruko instantly turned away from the man's picture. Naruko is obviously still me, save for the fact that I'm a guy and she's a girl. What an idiot. Naruko rolled her eyes. Hey. I just wanted to make sure. Anyway, do we have separate rooms? Oh yeah, yours is the one on the left and Naruto's on the right. Cool, I'm gonna go to my room so no one better bother me. Naruko narrowed her eyes as she entered and locked her room. Do you think? Obviously, I think that's the first thing any guy would do if they turned into a woman. Very true. Jiraiya nodded. I just realized that her boobs are almost as big as this red-haired devil that was watching me while I was out doing research, and there was even a black-haired girl with bigger boobs. Please tell me you got pictures. Pervy sage, it's a school. I'm not gonna get caught taking pictures of the students. In that case, I'll just have you and Naruko attend this school. Of course you will. And you're a shinobi. No one should be able to catch you taking a few pictures. You idiot. How are you even going to enroll us in school anyway? Don't even worry about it. Jiraiya waved him off, give me a few days and you'll be good to go. A few days later. What are we going to do with clothes for you? Jiraiya tapped his cheek as he looked at Naruko. What do you mean? I'll just wear this. I think we all know that's not the best idea, it's a bit tight on you anyway. What the hell am I supposed to wear to school then? Oh, don't worry about that. You have a uniform. Jiraiya threw them their uniforms. Can I wear an orange shirt below this? I'm not wearing a skirt, why is this so short? I could probably jump and show everyone everything downstairs. I know, isn't it great? Naruto and Naruko looked at Jiraiya weirdly. I'm not talking about you. I mean the other schoolgirls. It'll give you a lot of opportunities for research. Right. Anyway, put your stuff on. Your first day is in 30 minutes. Pervy sage, I don't have a bra or panties. That sounds like a you problem, Naruko. What the hell am I supposed to do? Go commando? Jiraiya shrugged, get some girlfriends and then go shopping with them. Jiraiya and Naruko growled. Don't stress about it. The girl's uniform is pretty thin anyway. Everyone would see your nipples, bra or not. As for the other thing, just make sure no one is behind you when going up a flight of stairs. Jiraiya cackled. Alright, let's go before I lose my fucking mind. Naruko grumbled as she entered her room to put on her uniform. A few minutes went by before she left her room, still grumbling to herself. Have fun, kids. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. He smiled happily as he handed them a few notebooks and cameras for research. On the road. You excited, Naruko? It's gonna take me a little bit to fully get used to that name, especially since we have practically every class together. At least gym classes are gendered. I don't want any guys ogling me. Gross. Naruko shuddered. Hey, it's that guy we met a few days ago. Let's go say hi. Sure. Naruko shrugged. Yo, Issei. Ah, Naruto, wow, who is this? Are you siblings? Naruko deadpanned, dude, we literally look the same. Except I'm obviously a girl. Alright, say, do you have a boy? Not interested. In having a boyfriend. Boys in general. So, are you a lesbian? Naruko looked at Naruto, who merely shrugged. Yes. She said. Your nose is bleeding, Issei. Naruto pointed out. It is. Must be the heat. The sun isn't even visible. Naruko pointed out. Alright, what's your name anyway? Naruko. Ha, easy to remember, Issei chuckled awkwardly as he tried not to blatantly stare at the girl's chest. They're seriously big. Anyway, today is our first day and we don't want to be late. Naruto started walking again, with Naruto following shortly after. Maybe if I stay behind I can. Naruto stopped and slowly turned around. You think you're slick? You're walking in front of me or else I'll break your balls. Geez, what's with your temper? Naruto asked. No clue. I think it's just the discomfort these clothes give me. These clothes really rub me wrong. I can see that. Naruto looked at Naruto's nipples poking through her shirt. Hey, stop looking. What? It's not like I'm seeing you naked. Wait a minute, it's not fair. What isn't? You know what I look like naked, but I don't know what you look like. Shouldn't you know? I literally look like the jutsu we created. Well yeah, but you look slightly more feminine and the privates were covered by clouds. Oh yeah, anyway, I'm not showing you. Eh? Why not? Because you might get a boner and I don't want to see that. You know what they say, love yourself. I don't think that's what they refer to. What are you guys talking about? Issei looked back at them curiously. How we're gonna peep on girls? Naruto said. Issei stopped abruptly, you peek on girls too? Ever since we were little. It wasn't that often and we didn't actively go out of our way to do it, but it certainly got worse when we met our godfather. Naruto nodded, he's a super pervert. Probably the most perverted man in the world. In the world? Issei whispered in awe. Yep. Do you know the Icha Icha series? Don't tell me. That's right. Our godfather is the author. Issei gasped and dropped to his knees, you have to let me meet him, please. I have to meet the man who created the most perfect books in the world. I guess you can meet him sometime. Naruto shrugged. I love you guys. Kuo Academy. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. And I'm Naruto Uzumaki. She cringed at seeing all the boys leering at her and some girls glaring at her. She's so hot. Look at her boobs. Do you think she has a boyfriend? She better not steal Kiba away. I wish I had her chest. Listen up boys. I don't have a boyfriend. The boys cheered. And I'm not getting one. Fuck you all. The entire classes looked at her in shock. You girls can hit me up anytime though. She bats for the same team. A boy in glasses cried out. That's still hot dude. The bald guy next to him cried as well. I didn't say it wasn't. Are you just gonna go commando for the rest of the day? Naruto asked, slurping on some noodles. I guess I am. What if someone, you know, sees it? I doubt anyone would actually have the balls boobs to do anything if they did. Somewhere else in the school a girl sneezed, causing her to drop a tray of tea she had just made. Yeah, you should never say shit like that because now someone will do it. Then I'll rip their arms off. That's a bit extreme, Naruto, you're kinda scary now. Don't be a wimp. It's not like I'm threatening to break your arms. Naruto shrugged. At least try to sit like any other girl who wears a skirt does. You're just showing your stuff to anyone who looks. I already told you, no one's gonna. The girl from the other day is looking at us. White-haired devil chick with chakra. Yeah. She's coming this way too. The twins waited patiently for the girl to approach them. You haven't looked at the pamphlet yet, she said. Right, Naruto scratched his head awkwardly, I didn't catch your name last time by the way. Kaneko. How did you know he hasn't looked at the pamphlet yet? Naruto asked in amusement and shifted the position of her legs. Kaneko's nose twitched and her eyes quickly darted to Naruto's crotch before looking away, he would have approached me if he had. Interesting, maybe you should take a look at it later, Naruto. He slurped on his noodles. Or give it to me instead. He continued slurping on noodles. Naruto smiled and turned to Kaneko, is that all you came to say? No, why are you not wearing any panties? How'd you know? Taking a peek or something? Naruto cackled. No, but I could see from afar. I told you people could see it. Naruto said. Yeah, that might be explain all the people looking over this way, I guess this school is just full of perverts. Kaneko nodded, they just get overshadowed by the perverted trio. Naruto raised an eyebrow in curiosity, are you saying you're a pervert too? I know, of course not, if you want to meet a pervert you should talk to Akeno. Is she as perverted as Issei? Naruto asked. No one's as perverted as that loser. You'd be surprised. The twins chuckled. I guess I'll be off then. Hold on there. Naruto stood up and hugged Kaneko from behind, I want to meet this Akeno chick. Kaneko froze, why do you not have a bra either? That's why I want to meet her. Naruto pressed her boobs further on Kaneko's back, unless you want to help me pick out stuff. Then no, I'll take you to her. Kaneko wiggled herself out of the girl's grasp and began walking away. Naruto turned to Naruto, it's so fun being a girl. I can do stuff like that and not get thrown in jail like you would. I wouldn't get thrown in jail. You sure? Yeah, I mean, Pervy Sage is still walking around doing what he does. Pervy Sage doesn't have boobs to rub a girl's back with. If you were to rub a girl's back with your dick she'd probably call the cops on you. Hey, she could be into it for all you know. I meant in the school like this. Nope, she could still be into it. People like to do stuff in public. How would you know what people are into? What do you mean how would I know? We're literally the same person and we live with the world's biggest pervert. Naruto hummed, good point. Are you two coming or what? Kaneko looked back at them. Right behind ya. So what's this Akeno girl like? Naruto asked. She's into S&M, Kaneko said. She'd definitely get along with Pervy Sage. No way, he'd definitely creep her out. Naruto scoffed. Hey, you think he's into any of that? Naruto asked with a cackle. Naruto shrugged, he could be, considering how much he let himself get beat up by Tsunade. Naruto blinked, does that mean we're masochists? Naruto blinked back at him, there's no way right. We could ask this girl about it. She might be able to tell. Naruto suggested. Please stop talking about your perversions in front of me. Kaneko grumbled. Possible perversions. Naruto corrected. It isn't nice to assume things, you know. Kaneko rolled her eyes. So you're here to ask Akeno to be your friend so that you have someone to pick up clothes with you? Riaz asked. That's right. Naruto gave a thumbs up. And you? I'm just tagging along. Naruto shrugged. I see. Do you mind, Akeno? I would absolutely love to help this cutie out. Akeno licked her lips. Naruto giggled nervously at the look she was getting. Actually, we also wanted to ask if there was a way to tell if we're into S&M. Naruto added. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave now. Kiba smiled awkwardly before leaving. And why would you be asking that here? Riaz blushed. Kaneko told us that Akeno was into it. That's not something you just tell people, Kaneko. Riaz sighed. Sorry, I guess. Kaneko shrugged. Oh my, Akeno shivered, I could certainly think of a few things. Great. What things exactly? Naruto asked hesitantly. We'd need privacy for that and I need time to get some things ready. She licked her lips, for the both of you? Naruto nodded. Akeno moaned, even bettr. Just so you know, pegging me is completely off the table. Oh, pity. Akeno, please take this type of talk elsewhere, Riaz groaned in embarrassment. But it's so fun to tease you. I hate perverts, Kaneko grumbled. So why are you too curious to know if you're into S&M? Akeno asked. Well, we were talking about how our godfather is into someone who would regularly beat him up. Since he's a massive pervert. Naruto added. So we thought he must be a masochist, right? Since no one would actively pursue someone who beats them up. Naruto explained. Akeno nodded, intrigued by what she was being told. But then we realized we also pursued someone who would insult and punch us and we asked ourselves if we were into that. Akeno giggled, well, did you get any pleasure from it? Not at all. Although we did like the attention she gave us, does that count? Naruto looked at Naruto in confusion. I see, let me ask you this then, what is your opinion on being dominated in bed? Akeno looked at them with a glint in her eye. We don't know that either, we're virgins. So am I. But I love seeing people in pain. Akeno shuddered, that's not to say I also wouldn't enjoy being under someone. It has to be the right person though. Naruto looked at her twin, maybe we should start reading Jiraiya's stuff more seriously. Akeno looked back, did you say Jiraiya? The author of the Icha series. Yeah, he's our godfather. Oh my, and you get to read his works before they get published. Unwillingly, yes. Okay then. I will teach the two of you about sadism and masochism if you let me speak to your godfather. I've got some great ideas that I would love for him to write about. Naruto laughed, sure, but you'll probably end up getting more than what you wish. Perfect. Not in a good way, Naruto mumbled. I forgot to ask, but why am I here? Naruto looked embarrassed as he scanned the store full of women's clothing. An extra opinion. Akeno hummed as she browsed some lingerie. Wouldn't another woman's opinion be more valuable for this though? Naruto asked as Naruto wandered off to look for some panties and bras. Maybe, but I also want to try some things out, so I'm gonna have the two of you be the judges. I what? We will. Of course. Don't tell me you don't want to. Akeno giggled. No. I didn't say that at all. Well good. She smirked, I'm sure you'll enjoy some of the things I've picked out. Alright. Akeno smiled as she led him to the changing rooms, wait here while I go and find you, sister. Okay. Naruto tapped his foot as the minutes passed before he noticed someone sat next to him. Was that your girlfriend? She's pretty. The woman smiled. Oh, no. She's just a new friend. Naruto laughed awkwardly. Really? I wasn't aware that girls like to show off their undergarment to guy friends. Naruto scratched the back of his head, I wasn't either, never really had a girlfriend until I moved to Kyoto. The woman hummed, is that so? Naruto nodded, your kimono reminded me of Kyoto. You don't see too many people wearing those around here. You like it? She leaned forward, showing off her already exposed cleavage. It looks very nice on you, he gulped as he struggled not to stare at her chest in an obvious manner. Oh, you are just adorable. She scooted closer to him and grabbed his arm. I gotta say, this school uniform doesn't do any favors for your figure. You have some nice muscle on you. Naruto blushed and scratched the back of his head. Oh, thank you. You work out, I assume? Yeah, he chuckled. The woman hummed in amusement. You are quite interesting, I must say. I am? The woman stood up with a smile. I best get going now. I have to see my sister later. I'll see you some other time, yeah? She said with a smile before leaving. Yeah, sure. Naruto. Oh good, you're still here. Akeno smiled. What's with your face? You look really out of it. Naruto asked. I just had a strange encounter, at least I think it was strange anyway. I'll tell you about it later. Naruto hummed before turning to Akeno. How is this gonna work exactly? I want you to try this on. Akeno handed her a G-string. What the hell is this? A G-string. It'll look really sexy on you. Naruto took a glance and choked on his saliva. Geez, that's barely gonna cover anything, why would anyone wear that? I get the exact reaction that you just had. Akeno smiled. Come on. At least try it. Naruto hesitantly agreed, it is an orange. Yay. Come on then. Akeno happily dragged Naruto into the dressing room with her. Naruto sighed and pulled out the pamphlet that Kaneko gave him. This is as good a time as any. A few seconds and a bright red circle later and Kaneko appeared. Ah, you finally used it. She looked around. Why are you in a store like this? Akeno dragged me here along with Naruto. And Kaneko sat down with him. They in there? She got her answer in the form of a moan coming from Naruto. Why you don't have to pull on my nipples. Oh, aren't you just adorable? It's like you've never touched yourself. You have touched yourself, right? Well yeah, but not like how you are doing, Kaya. Kaneko grumbled and took out a bag of cookies. I hate this. Naruto coughed. Please remember we're in public, girls. Of course. It's why I haven't done anything serious with her. Naruto, be a dear and clip this one for me. Alright. Naruto turned to Kaneko. So how was your day? It was significantly better before you. Kaneko trailed off as she looked around the store, her nose twitching. What's wrong? Nothing. She went back to slowly munching on her sweets, her shoulders now tense, he noted. Alright, prepare yourself. Akeno called out excitedly. Ready as we'll ever be. Naruto said, and Kaneko huffed. To say that they were in shock was an understatement. Is that a Kaneko couldn't even finish her sentence as she burst up blushing. It's a crotchless G-string and an open cup bra. Doesn't she look hot in it? Akeno eyed Naruto up. Naturally I got one for myself too. Naruto stammered and Kaneko slightly fumed at the sight of the two girls' breasts. Do a little spin, Naruto. Akeno encouraged the girl with a light spank. Naruto did as she was told, an enormous blush covered her face as she did her best to cover her private areas. Akeno excitedly followed her lead. Dude, are you drooling? Kaneko asked. Hey. I'm a perfectly healthy male, okay? Very healthy. Akeno purred. Kaneko followed her upperclassman's eyesight. She should have expected it, but she was still surprised as she stared at the bulge training inside Naruto's uniform. That looks very uncomfortable, why don't you let it out for some air? Akeno teased, I wouldn't mind, and it seems our dear Kaneko is curious as well. Perverts, why did you summon me here, Naruto? I didn't want to be alone. It's very awkward with the women inside the store staring at me like I'm some weirdo when I'm by myself. Well, I'll be sure to get a good payment from you for this. There's payment. Of course there is. You summon me and make a deal with me, and then based on what you ask for I charge you accordingly. Oh, you guys know about us then? Akeno asked. Oh, yeah. Why didn't you say anything? I've been thinking that you two thought we were humans, so I was really holding out quite a bit. You were holding out. Naruto looked slightly scared. Now that we're caught up I can take more liberties in our future S&M sessions. Please kill me, Kaneko muttered. I guess you should also know we're more durable than other people. Naruto said. How so? Well, we heal from pretty much anything. You could punch us into a mountain and we can shrug it off. Stab something through our body and we'll heal almost instantly. Oh sorry, the thought was very hot. Akeno moaned. We can tell. Kaneko covered her nose. Naruto looked away as he noticed a trail of wetness going down Akeno's thighs. Oh come on, there's no way it smells bad. Akeno protested. It doesn't. It's just very strong and I can't handle it. Kaneko muttered. Oh you mean it? It was meant to be taken as a compliment. Too late. That's how I took it. Do we have to stay here? Naruto asked. I don't really want to be practically naked out here, Naruto said. I really don't understand why I'm here. Kaneko muttered. Don't worry, once me and Naruto try all of these clothes we're free to go. Everyone groaned. The end. Thanks for watching, also remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next video.